here. Eyes down, looking. Bronze match number 1 in the 71 kilogram grouping. Head to head and shoulder to shoulder. And KURAK presents a really small target, digs those elbows in.
And coming back from the 98 kilo and moving down to this 71 kilogram, it's just such a different size and speed.
As you rightly say, Brian, that electric movement from both men, noticeable. The quickness around the mat, trying to change the angle. KURAK very good at just sliding off to the side, as he does again, which leaves KORPASI chasing shadows. And there is that first little passivity hello.
45 seconds in.
Exactly as you said. Time is precious here in Paris, but the precious metal at stake is the bronze. Russia and Hungary battling it out. First minute.
Now both athletes with a passive call. So they let them feel it out. You know you're going to get one passive if no one's really being the aggressor. And then the referees decide by the three of them who's going to earn the first point. You will never see a Greco match go into the second period leveled at 0. You're always going to see at least 1 point on the board.
Well, I think that point is about to come up now, as you rightly say. Time was of the essence, and it's now that 1 point for the Hungarian KORPASI. He'll be happy with that. He has worked harder. KURAK has been defensive, spinning off to the side. But the referees, well, they're highly experienced, many of them wrestlers themselves in a former year, so they know their way around the mat.
You can always tell the experienced wrestlers and officials, and we have the best of the best here, but they understand where they need to be to see the action and where they need to see the foul, like a leg foul. We haven't seen too many of them this weekend, but sometimes an athlete is taught you're never going to see it.
Sure.
And Greco-Roman, sometimes if you don't see it and you don't get caught, it never really happens.
That's the truth of it. It's not a foul if you don't get caught doing it, and that's just the way of all sport. You try and work within the grey areas, the fine margins. Of course, if you're totally new to the sport, it is literally everything above the waist is a target. Freestyle, you can attack both legs and arms. But no one really streets ahead here. Into the last 30. KURAK defending.
Again, this under-over position you watch as KORPASI tries to dig in with what we call pummeling, trying to get to the inside position, whether it be an underhook or inside, controlling that 2-on-1 in between the athletes. I was making a comment to Jason Bryant earlier today about water polo.
Okay.
And how above the water in water polo, it's beautiful. You see him throw the ball, you see him catch. What you don't see is the brutality underneath the water.
Yep.
And so that area in between chest to chest where you're fighting hands and fighting elbows and snap, slap into the side of their head and your ears ring, and these guys have funny-looking ears anyway, right, with the cauliflower. In most combat sports, we see that just from punishment that goes to the side of the head.
Yep, as you rightly say, the class above the waist, but a lot of work being done. And of course, in the Greco-Roman, we look at it and think it's about grappling and gripping and getting those 2-on-1s or the little under or overhooks. But the footwork's so important to try and get yourself into that position. Just a little change of tactic there from KURAK, trying to go forward straight away there. Looking for options. He looks the smaller of the two. But aggressive here.
I was going to say, KORPASI, you were saying the smaller of the two. KORPASI is another athlete, like a lot of the Hungarians who are just chiseled. They hold their position so well, and their bodies are so strong. And right there, you see a lot of athletes pushing too hard to try and get a step out, and a little feint move by KURAK almost put KORPASI, if he wasn't such a great athlete, he would have ended up on his face. I probably would have ended up on my face.
Well, the bull and the matador, the sidestep, almost working out, but the referee working out that it's been too much defense from the Hungarian. He's going to have to get a little motor on here. Wonderful overhead shot, shows you the distance between the two, which is literally nothing. You could fit a credit card between the two of them as they look for answers here. Bronze at stake, 71 kilograms and under. sticks that shoulder in there, KORPASI. So much of the match about time management, and it's time up.
And there's your second passivity call against KURAK. So the fourth passivity call, he's got a 2-0 lead. Again, sometimes I struggle with figuring out how they make the decision on who to call passive, because both of these athletes are working to the center of the mat and working for position. Now, KORPASI is pushing him back a little bit, but they're looking for the passivity call, and there's a passivity call against KORPASI. 1 point for KURAK. So if I'm watching this as a layperson, I'm not quite sure how they're getting to that decision, but obviously 2 out of 3 have to agree.
Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad at the moment, but I totally agree with you. Sometimes you see the referee give it and then think, oh, I should really even it up now and try and get them involved, and it changes the momentum of the match. For me, KURAK, that sidestep, is that just pure defense?
In my eyes, I see KURAK doing much more of the work, but
I'm glad you said that, because I didn't want to say that, but that's what I was looking at.
But and KORPASI stays, again, he has perfect position in the middle, but it doesn't look like he's taking the same reach risks or pass by risks or push out, or, you know, trying to get working to the edge as KORPASI.
So the thing that he is taking here is his own sweet time as he runs the clock down. A bronze medal just in the distance for the Hungarian now. Can he close it out? Well, there's not going to be any more passivity called now. We're into the last stages of it. And it is going to be very difficult now for KURAK to try and get his hands on the bronze, because KORPASI, well, he's dug it out there. Quality. And in the end, that intensity just pushing him over the line there. But nothing scored in terms of wrestling quality. That one was in the end, it was the referees decided who won that one.
Absolutely, and there's got to be a formula to